KERRVILLE, Buffalo soldiers! Fall in!
The buildings here at Fort McCavitt are quiet, long deserted. But once, this was a bustling outpost, part of a huge military experiment, an experiment that was expected to fail. Instead, it produced some of the fiercest fighters in the history of the United States military. The time was the 1860s. The western frontier was steeped in turmoil. The settlers throughout this area were unprotected, tormented by outlaws, thieves, and hostile Indians. The U.S. government formed 6 regiments of African-American troops, known as the Buffalo Soldiers.
It's troops in line for the buffalo, get 'em moving, get 'em moving. Then squadron mass when the bugle blows, moving into line. Gonna fight all day, gonna fight all night. We got our money on the buffalo, somebody bet on the fight.
For over 100 years, the legacy of the Buffalo Soldiers was lost in a baffling historical void. But today, these men are finally getting their due recognition. The true story of the 9th and the 10th Cavalry has been embraced by both scholars and an eager public.
The Indian feared them because of his bravery and how he fought. The reason they gave him, they called him the Buffalo Soldier because of the texture of his hair and the dark, fierce eyes. The buffalo had the dark brown eyes and showed no fear. And the black man fought with such ferocity and showed no fear. That's why the Indian gave them this name, because he feared and respected the buffalo, and he learned to fear and respect the black soldier as well. 75% of the soldiers that settled this area were Buffalo Soldiers. The only white men that were with them were the commanding officers. 75%. Almost all of the forts were manned and built by Buffalo Soldiers. They see on TV, they see all the modern portrays of things, and they see white cavalrymen coming in and doing these things. But what they don't realize, the white cavalrymen did come, but after the Buffalo Soldier had paved the way for him, built the forts for him, built the houses, made the bridges, did the roads, did the work. And now it's so important so that their families will understand the hardships that these men went through and the pride that goes with it.
The reason I joined was for a steady income. Why, I made a whole $13 a month. That ain't funny, that's more money than I'd ever had.
Ken Pollard discovered the legacy of the Buffalo Soldiers in the late 1980s. Since then, he's traveled throughout Texas, sharing that knowledge with kids.
I was once a captured slave. Now I'm just a black man who came to be. I was a hard-riding hero for the 9th Cavalry. Tell me, how did they survive in this new land? I am a Buffalo Soldier. How you doing, trooper?
Fine.
That's our summer uniform, by the way.
No wonder it's hot.
Well, it's also the winter uniform. At attention, trooper. I'm doing it. I got on. You want the pants, too? I found out about the Buffalo Soldiers by accident. I happened to walk into Fort Griffin, and I asked that manager why he had all these pictures on his wall. The pictures were of black folks. And that's when he started telling me about the Buffalo Soldiers. And this is like 5 years ago. So I was not aware of them either.
Why is there a number 9 on your neck?
That stands for 9th Cavalry.
How old are you and how old are the horses?
Well, I am 40-something. Y'all stay in school and stay on them grades.
Okay.
All right. What we are doing is taking the legacy of the Buffalo Soldier into the cities and into the schools. And we feel that sharing this story, that we can instill some pride and resolve in them. These are the Seminole Indian Scouts. They were the best. Let me tell you, between 1860s and 1890s, during the Indian Wars period, they fought 24 battles, and they never lost a man. They were that good. They never lost a man. It was 200 Buffalo Soldiers against 900 Kickapoos, Comancheros, and Mescaleros. 900 against 200 Buffalo Soldiers. And we won in 3 hours.
Well, how come this ain't up in our social studies book? Because I take Texas history.
But much of our history did not get into the history book.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who feel left out. I remember I used to feel left out until they came to my school and stuff, and then I knew. Because they didn't teach us nothing in school, but that we were slaves. That's all they taught us. They didn't teach us that we were heroes or nothing. Every time you went to school, in history, all you heard about was slaves this, slaves that. Everybody know black heroes.
Having the Buffalo Soldiers as heroes when I was growing up would have been great. My family come from just north of Waco, and my relatives and kinfolk, cowboys, man. But we didn't have any black cowboys or soldiers, you know, to really look up to. For me to have the black heroes there when I was growing up, that would have been instilled in me, that sense of pride. And I'm finding out late, but if I had grown up with that, I could have had, you know, they would have been my heroes.
From slavery to glory, I picked cotton, farmed, and could not read or write. I am a soldier now. I have eagles on my button, U.S. on my buckle, and I can carry a gun and fight for my country. The question I pose to you today is, what are we fighting for today? When we kill each other in gang wars, what are we fighting for? The Buffalo Soldiers fought not only the Indians and outlaws, but racism and prejudice. We had a job to do, and we done it.
March position, move. Ready. Aim. Fire.
It seems ironic that 130 years after the Buffalo Soldiers made their quiet mark in history, their greatest victory may be in the present, fought not with bullets, but with a legacy of honor, courage, and integrity.